So when it came to, when you mentioned the different cinematics for each character, did you try taking a different cinematic tone? So obviously it's an action-oriented game, so like when you look at film, like action films are filmed a certain way as horror films. Did you try to do some of those different thematic themes when you're doing the cinematics?
Absolutely.
To give that extra visceral feel for the players?
So I mean, there's two points to that, because one point is each character has their own kind of character arc within the game. They deal with Bruce's death in their own specific way, and those arcs are very unique. With their interactions with each other, with a lot of the banter inside the belfry and whatnot, you're going to get these different dynamics of the heroes interacting with each other. The other standpoint of the cinematics for me in all instances was being able to tell the story of the Court of Owls, how they all react to the Court of Owls differently, how they will react to the villains, which I'm not going to ask that question, but I'll just tell you, like, some of the villains, they do have unique experiences with each of the different heroes. So that's going to give you a different flavor whenever you play that, and you're going to see. It doesn't have to be like huge differences, but they're enough to be like, if you're a fan or you know what you're looking for, you're going to find it.
Besides Court of Owls, which is obviously a very important Nightwing story arc, what other Nightwing stories did you pull from inspiration for your characters?
Would you like me to take that, or you, Deathstroke? Deathstroke, you want to take that, Deathstroke? No?
Do not listen to me.
Honestly,
I'll be back. No, just kidding. It's an inside joke. No, Deathstroke is not in our game.
or is he?
You know, I think you should answer that question.
It's tough because the Court of Owls is I can't give anything away because it's a very integral part to Dick Grayson's storyline. In reference to villains outside of that, is that what you're asking?
No, what other Nightwings, comic books and story arcs besides Court of Owls did you reference from?
Oh, okay. So Scott Snyder's Volume 1, Court of Owls. Also Grayson, Agent 47. I really read up on that quite a bit. Yes, that's post Court of Owls. However, I had the Grayson book for years, just encyclopedia of knowledge, and I just kind of read through that quite a bit. I went online and I watched a lot of Teen Titans to learn his past as well. Because I'm a big I like to make jokes. My hubris is I try to make everyone laugh. Like my main goal is to make someone smile.
Yeah, and I feel is a much lighter character when you compare him to like Jason Todd.
Yeah.
Which, in all honesty, this is him. This is Christopher, and he's like that on set too. And Steven, who plays Red Hood, is like that on set too. So actually, when I'm sitting on set with them, I'm like, oh my goodness, if Batman were alive, this is the stuff that he would have to deal with.
Like when you were like filming like cinematography, like so you have like Dick in the light and you have like Jason in the dark.
So there's a lot of things that I'm gonna let y'all, like for me, just to let you know, the cinematics for me are layered cake. I don't put a cinematic in the game just because I need to. I want to put in as much Easter egg, as much context, as much kind of like subtext. You know, he's going to be going through some serious emotional tones in the game.
Yeah.
Not that one, but you know, but these are things that we wanted to explore in the game, and likewise. Robin will do that as well, Batgirl will do that as well, and also Red Hood will do that as well. So for me, that level of intensity that we are going to see in the game, we haven't seen in movies or in comics to that level for me, which is why we wanted to push the bar as far.
And which is awesome, you get 4 unique stories, so you're getting 4 games in one. And if we don't get Batman, now we get 4 awesome games in one.
Were there any challenges when it came to the cinematography and the bringing Nightwing to life that you guys faced and had to overcome?
My flexibility. They really did not want me to continue to film backwards. I was like, can you just face the camera? I was like, fine.
We heard you did a lot of squats.
Yes, squats. Yeah, long and short story.
Why is he bending down all of a sudden?
I think at one point he was like, "Why aren't you doing that? Can you add that?" I was like, oh, "Yeah." I don't know. I think the hardest part would be just to make sure that we will always being respectful to Robin, his storyline, to Dick Grayson, everything that he's had. Always be respectful to that, and bring my own type of originality to it. It's hard to be authentic when you've got such a solid base. So much history.
Such a wealth and breadth.
Yeah, exactly. How do you make that your own?
You're so enthusiastic.
Coffee.
Just a small note on that side, just for him. I mean, this is the happier side of him trying to but deep down there's something inside that he never resolved in our game, and you're going to see that when we start playing the game. You're going to see that inner battle that he's going to have internally, which I think is going to be very cool for
Kind of core of sadness and darkness that he has to contend with.
You get it?
There you go.
Wait a second. We need to talk.
You're not just dealing with 4 different characters but 4 different actors. How did you have to change your approach for each individual to bring out the best performance from that individual?
So for us, it was really about chipping away at a diamond in the rough. I use that analogy. We basically take a broad stroke of the scene. We're going to play around on set, and the way that we work, it's not about, we're going to do this and we're move. I'm looking for the purest performance. These guys know sometimes we will hit 20 or 30 takes before we get the overall. All right, that's an awesome take. Let's
16 was max. 16. We never went higher than 16.
But for each of them, it was about them bringing what they want and allowed them to kind of refine their art. Christopher's awesome. He kind of steers everything towards me and praises me, but I need to praise back to him because he's they push that performance every time I ask them to. And what you see on screen right now with a lot of the narrative and whatnot, it's pure emotion, or it's something that's going to blow your socks when you take a look at that. It's very powerful scenes. And it's not about just them, it's about them, but also the 4 of them together, the 2 of them together, the 3 of them together. So it's all these different interactions that, as a player, you're going to be pretty to see.
Well, it sounds like there's a lot of pride in your voice when you're talking about it.
Personally, for me, I've invested 3 years to make this as epic as possible, and that journey with the group here, it's been pretty phenomenal. And I'm hoping everybody's going to be sharing the same.
In reference to that, I have so much immense pride because I'm an Asian American portraying Nightwing. It's the first time that's happened. I'm so excited, and I hope to have many other children see that and say, hey, maybe I can be a superhero as well. There I digress.
Yeah. All right.